Good morning, and welcome to Tuesday Talk. I've honestly been thinking about this one all night long. One of our school board members shared something yesterday on Facebook, and I read it, and I loved the message that it gave. Let me read it with you today. Everyone wants to be a Moses. Very few people want to be Aaron and Hur. We admire the one holding the staff, but God honored the ones that were holding up his hands. Now, maybe you're not familiar with the story, so let me take just a little bit of our Tuesday Talk time to tell it to you. In Exodus 17, the children of Israel are fighting a war. And while they're in the battle, Moses had given very specific instructions. If you look across the field and see me holding up the staff, keep advancing, we're winning. If you look across the field and the staff has come down, retreat, we're losing. Well, Moses was sitting there holding up the staff, and the people kept fighting and fighting. But the longer he held the staff up and the longer the battle went on, his arms got tired. Makes perfect sense to me. So after a while, his arms started to sag, and the staff became very heavy and began to fall. But remember what that message meant. If they looked up at the hill and they saw the staff going down, retreat backwards. So two men, Aaron and Hur, stepped on either side of Moses, grabbed a hold of his arms, and pushed the staff back up to the top. Everybody remembers that Israel won a great battle that day because their leader held the staff till the end. And we even tell that story today. However, a lot of people miss the point. Aaron and Hur did not try to take his place. They didn't ask Moses to hand them the staff so they could take a turn holding it up and being the leader. Their job was hold up his hands. And because they did that, Moses was able to keep doing what God had told him to do. Imagine how tired both of those men got simply holding up the hands that were also holding up the staff. They had more on their strength that day, more on their shoulders than Moses did by simply holding the staff by himself. You see, we've been conditioned today to believe that in order to be a significant person, we have to be the name. We've got to be the leader. We've got to get the promotion. We have to have our name recognized by everybody around us. We need to be the person that everybody remembers whenever something successful is accomplished or a great victory has been won. But you don't have to be the person everybody remembers to be the person who made a difference. Sometimes God puts you in somebody else's story. That's just not very applauded today. It's not very celebrated today. It's not very recognized today. You don't have to be the main character, but God has you there to help somebody else finish what God called them to do. You might be the assistant nobody even remembers, the employee behind somebody else who gets the promotion. What if you're a parent that nobody stopped to thank for simply raising a good kid? I had a conversation yesterday with a gentleman, and I told him, I said, "Sir, you must have done a good job raising your boys because I've been very impressed with the young men they are becoming, how they conduct themselves, how they handle themselves, how they communicate with other people in authority." And the father stopped and apologized and said, "That's one of the greatest compliments you could have given to me." Maybe you're that parent. You've got some great kids out there in society today that are writing a strong legacy for you, and nobody comes back to you to say, "I saw what you did there. You did a good job raising your kid." You could be a friend whose simple purpose isn't simple at all. You're the encourager. The person you encourage, the person you applaud, the person you hold up goes through a lot of valleys, feels a lot of heavy emotions on their shoulders. They're weary and they're tired. And there you are in the background that nobody sees saying, "Keep going, you're doing a great job." Being unseen does not make you unimportant. It can make you essential. Not everybody needs to be on the stage, on the platform, in the spotlight. Not everyone needs to have a business card with your name emboldened on it. Sometimes people just need to be satisfied in the place and in the position and the talents and abilities God has given to them to lift the people in front of them up. If you're Moses, be Moses. But if you're an Aaron or if you're a Hur, be those men who simply understand God gave Moses a job, and on his own, he was never going to be able to accomplish it. You don't have to hold the staff to have the victory. Maybe nobody remembers your name. Hold on to this. God does. Anyway, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with me on Tuesday Talk today. I love these moments we have together. I believe this can be an encouragement to you and some of your friends that you know, so feel free to share it and pass it on. Lord willing, have a wonderful week, and I'll see you right back here next week for Tuesday Talk.